Greetings, brethren, and welcome back to the How to Get Better at Chess series, where I, the Chess Crusader, will help you get better at chess by explaining to you what to look for in an opening, how to develop a game plan, tactics, endgames, and other ideas that will help you get better at chess. Today, we're going to be playing against a coach on chess.com. Coach David here is rated 1600, so as long as we can beat him today and understand how we beat him, we'll be able to beat anybody rated 1600. I am sure. So we're going to start here. He'll give us some feedback in the bottom as well. We'll do a game review at the end of the game as well. So let's get into it. Let's play and review some key points from this game when we're done. I couldn't agree more, Coach David. So what we're going to do, not going to play any particular opening. I'm just going to show you how to find good moves. So what we're going to do, put a pawn in the middle and control the center. E5 directly opposes your pawn and fights for the center. Yeah, absolutely. Let's develop a knight, attack this pawn in the center. Why not? Put this guy here, threaten me already. Yeah, he's going to defend. Lots of times they defend by bringing out this knight or something like this, but this is a little bit more restricting because now he can't get his bishop out. So it's not really great, but totally fine. We'll bring out our knight, develop another piece. That is the key. We want to develop our knights and our bishops. Do you see a move that puts pressure on my pawn chain? Well, maybe this, because he can't defend it very easily. So somebody's been studying their chess opening and keep it up. Not quite. We're just learning how to play good moves in the opening. Yeah, so maybe a good move here is to just attack this, and then if takes, then I can take back with my knights because then bring out his knight, and he can't defend this square easily at all. So that could be a good move. Another move would be like bringing out our bishop, and then his knight can't move at all. That would be pretty good. We can just attack the center right here, though, because of the reasons we have lined out there. Fantastic. This is the right way to attack the pawn chain. Great. Okay, so he's developing his queen, putting some pressure on this. A good move for us is just going to be going here, because then we're forcing him to double his pawns, because the only thing protecting this knight is this pawn, so that seems good. That wasn't necessary at all, but we're doing it. You're using your knights. The way you're using your knights is very instructive. Bravo. Well, I hope so, because I've got people watching on the other end here. Of course, I must take back. Yeah, so we can't put our bishop there anymore. We can put our bishop here. Not quite, actually, because if he brings us forward, we can't take with this pawn, because it's pinned to our king. So that is the next step, which is going to be letting our king castle by moving our pawns, by moving our pieces somewhere so that he can castle. So a good way to do this. This is all right because it defends this, but his scope is kind of limited. I'm going to try to get this bishop out, I believe. That could be a good plan. And then, yeah. Okay, so your pieces are more powerful when they leave their starting squares. I couldn't agree more. By the way, if you play every day, you'll start to notice things you didn't notice before. I agree. Playing every day is a good idea, even if it's just one game, kind of like learning a language on Duolingo. That's a good idea. He's pushing this pawn forward and not developing any pieces, so this is quite bad for him. So yeah, now we can put our bishop here, because if he moves his pawn forward, we take, he takes back. We can actually take with this knight because this pawn is not pinned to our king anymore, because our bishop is in front of it. So we will bring out our bishop to develop. You're ready to castle when the time is right. Shall we trade? This would not be a bad idea at all to trade. Just trade out there, but at least we kind of move down because my piece was already out here and he just moved this. So if we trade, he just kind of gets up on development, and that's not great. But something we can do is we can bring our queen over here, which defends this. So if he takes, we take back, and now I'm attacking this pawn here. So that's a good idea, and it just moves my queen to a better active square, so we'll do that. Your bishop is defended now. Okay, he's going to take. That's fine. You see a way to gain material back? Yeah, we just take back with the queen. Perfect. See, that's fine. And he's choosing to defend with the king here, so now he can't castle. I'll defend my pawn. It's generally a good idea to keep your pieces defended. So his king is very weak now. So this is not good stuff whatsoever. So we can try to put pressure on this king somehow. We can do that by, if we castle this way, then we have a rook on this file immediately, which is pointed directly at the king, which is good. If we castle this way, then it's still fine, but we get some more immediate pressure if we castle this way. So I will do that first. Okay. I think my piece will be better off on this square right here. Sure, why not? Not really a threat because this bishop is covering this. Yeah, so we're going to want to get to the king here, and we have to develop a plan to do so. Some ideas is here. He can't take because of this pin, but it's reinforced by this pawn over here, so it's not ideal. It's not that great of a move, really. So just some slow play here would probably be good. Because, yeah, this knight can't really go anywhere. He's all right. Not too much going on. Hitting another rook to the center would be good. I could move my king off the line. There's nothing that's really good for me here, so I can play kind of a waiting move. But, yeah. Maybe we will move our rook over here with the intent of trying to push through on this side. So that's what we'll do. We'll make a game plan that is like that. Your pieces are set up nicely. Keep going. Okay, he's developing his bishop on this line. That's fine. This isn't really anything, though, because if he wants to take my knight with this queen, that's fine. I'll take back. If my knight ever moves, now I have to be careful about this battery, so I can't really afford to move my knight at all. But something I could threaten here is just bringing my bishop right here, because it attacks the queen, so he has to move it. But if he ever moves the queen, then this bishop will be in trouble, which also makes this rook in trouble because the rook can't move anywhere. And if I put my bishop here and he attacks it, I can just take back with my rook. So he'd have to move. The only way he could defend this bishop, really, is if he moved his queen here, or here, or here, is if he moved his queen. But yeah, like this could be good because it kind of just forces a move. We are equal, though. So we're not equal on the board because I have so much more pressure on his king because his king is very weak. But our material is very equal. So if we traded down entirely, then it'd be more equal. So I don't really want to do that. So while this is okay, I think that this is still a better move because it allows my pieces to try and kind of get active onto the king over there. So I will play here. What are you up to? I'm not sure. Okay. I'm making my piece more active. He wants to trade the queens here. On the attack, I usually don't want to do that, but here I will do this because it forces a king move or a pawn move. And I will get a pawn out of this and an open file at the end of the day. Okay, so he wants to, try to get this pawn maybe. I move my bishop to a square where it can be more active. Yeah, we'll just go here. He can take here and open up my king, but that's fine. Brings out his knight. We'll go here to try and trade. He trades, and there we go. So he gets a rook. He gets a rook on this file. Our rooks are looking at each other. I'm up a pawn, but I don't have that big advantage that I had anymore. This is kind of how experts win these games. They don't win by big blowouts. They don't blunder too much. It's just little things. We both have a knight, and we both have two rooks. This open file is really strong. If I take here, he takes back, he gets the file. So I don't want to do that. So I will go here. So if he takes me, I get the file. Okay, awesome. And now he can't go here. Okay, he wants to go there. That's totally fine. I can go onto this part, and I can threaten to take this pawn, which I think is very strong. So I will do that. His knight can't move because it's pinned. Okay, he wants to bring that pawn forward. You immobilize my knight by pinning it to my king? Absolutely. There are a few fun points in the game where we can go over game review. Sure, sounds good. Maybe there was a better move for me to play. I'm not entirely sure, but I will take this pawn. And now my game plan is going to be moving these pawns down this line. That is what my goal is now going to be. Something I can try to do is threaten maybe some stuff over here with my knights, but it's not really doing anything, so I will just go back to this very strong open file. I'm impressed you've outplayed me so far. I'm glad about that. So, these two pawns, they are pass pawns. We want to promote them. How can we do that? Well, we can push him, but then this hangs. So if we move this knight over here to defend this, now we can start moving this pawn over here. So that's what we'll do. This knight wasn't doing much on this square anyway in the first place. Okay, now that you're not pinning my knight, what's next? We can just go back and try to push these pawns. So we can even go back all the way over here. This king cannot move past this line. This king can simply not move past because my rook is covering it. Now we will start marching these pawns down here. That's it. Yep, that's the good move. Yeah, I don't want to lose this pawn. He pushes this forward, so we'll just take. That's totally fine. He gets his knight into the game. Not too much I can do about that. That's totally fine. I can try to fork either of these because I'm up a pawn, so I can try to fork these. If I put my knight here, he either has to trade or he has to sacrifice this pawn. He does get this pawn back at the end though, so that's not ideal. So we won't go for that here. My pawns are much stronger than his. His are all isolated. These are stacked, not good. Mine are all together here. Maybe I don't want his knight to get into some areas. Where can his knight move here and here? Doesn't do too much when he gets there though, so I think we're good to just probably just move this rook like behind these pawns and start pushing them. I think that's a good idea. This knight is strong here, so we'll go here, start pushing. Behind your passed pawn, yes, that's where your rook likes to be. I agree. Your pawn is threatened. What can you do about it? Okay, so if I do nothing, he will take this. That's probably not great. But also, I can try to trap his knight. If I go here and he takes this pawn, then he can't escape with his knight. So ideally, he goes here. Once he's on that square, the only squares he can move to is here, here, and here. So he'll check me. I'll move somewhere else. But if this pawn is moved forward, then his knight can't actually escape anywhere, and I can try to take a pawn with it. So what can I do about it? I will just threaten like this. This should work. That works also, kicking my knight. Okay, yeah, he brings his knight over. Check. The obvious move would have been to go here, just move it, but yeah, we will go here. A trick about knights in endgames is if you're on diagonal squares by like on a 3x3 box, if you're on a diagonal square, it'll take the knight like I think 4 moves to reach you, so you're very safe. So if I go here, this knight can never touch me. So I will go. Well, in an endgame, you kind of want to be closer to the center, so I'll just threaten this knight like this. Sometimes you have to move your king, and this is one of those times. Okay, he's trying to threaten rook, so I will go here. Getting the rook to safety is a good idea. Yeah, probably. Okay, so he's just doing some dancing moves with the knight. That's fine. That's fine. Definitely don't go here because we're worried about this fork right here. So, what happens if my rook goes here? Well, it's very passive because it can't move. So maybe I'll go back here and then I'll try to go to the file or something. Okay, correct. My rook likes to be on the file. That's probably accurate. I have to worry about this now. But pushing these pawns is probably the best idea. So I will continue to do that. Good move, one step closer to promotion. Okay, so I don't want my knight to die, so I will do something with my king to defend it. Probably here, because where can the knight go to check me? The knight can go here, here, here. None of those would threaten this square directly, so I will go here. Good, defending your knight. Okay, he wants to put his pawn there. That doesn't really do too much, so I will continue to try and promote this pawn. Okay, moves that forward. I will once again go back here. Got to bring his rook back, and that's not good for him. Indeed, but I don't want that pawn going much further. So now what I can do, this isn't actually threatened, but I can threaten both this knight here and this pawn over here, which will allow everything else to fall. So that is my plan. I like seeing you creating threats. Keep it up. Okay, so he just gives up on his knight here. That's fine. Is it safe to bring out my king? I think it is. It's definitely not, because he just hung his knight. My knight was free for the taking. I agree. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, like before I was thinking, hey, I'm going to go over here, but this pawn is so close to promotion, I'm just going to keep my rook on it, because now he can't do anything. He can literally do nothing. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring my king to the fight, and yeah, just enter him into the battle. I could also bring out this knight to attack other things, but right now my king is a bit stronger, because it's kind of tricky to maneuver a knight around. I'll go here. Okay, and now that our kings are kind of opposing here, he's trying to make some threats on the lines. I'll just try to maneuver my knight into position. So I can move this. Sure, that. One move closer to promotion, I agree. If I go here, then the king can't get anywhere back here because the pawn defends all of it. Okay, this is totally fine. So something I could do is like I could take this pawn, but then he could check me and try to like get my knight out of it. That doesn't quite work because I can go here. But yeah, I can just kind of start munching on these pawns, so I will start doing that. Okay, he takes. That's fine. And now I can just go over here, win all these pawns, and it's just elementary. So I will do that very quickly, very methodically. Take all these pawns. He's not taking it. That's fine. I see what you're up to. I sure hope you do. I don't even really care about my knight at this point. We'll just promote this guy. He can go. He can take all of those. That's totally fine. It would have been easier to mate with just 2 queens, but we don't have to do that. A checkmating technique, is this knight's move away from the king because it pushes him towards the edge while preventing him from stalemating. So see here, he just keeps on getting pushed towards the edge. Down here, okay, now if I go here, that would be a stalemate. So instead, I take not this one, but I can go like here, and then he has to move back and forth in between. Like if I put my queen here, he has to move back and forth between these 2 tiles. So if I go here, I can move my king around as much as I want, and he can only move between those 2 squares. But if I put my king on this square, we can deliver checkmate like that on the edge of the board. So that was a good game against Coach David there. 24 best moves, 1 great move. We'll do a game review now. Switch over to the game review setup. We'll see how well we played. 81% accuracy, so that's pretty good. No blunders. I played like a 1550. That's good. That's about as well as he was supposed to be. He underperformed a little bit. 1,150. So yeah, let's start the game review here. E4 book move. Just a typical move. Put something into the center. Try and take space. Just bringing out pieces, defending everything as we discussed. It liked this move to try and attack the center, but apparently, yeah, it's a book move. That's fine. But see how many moves here? What does it say? This was move number 5. So 10 moves each, basically. Sorry, not 10 moves each. Like 10 moves total of just, like, that was theory. But we were just like, hey, these are good moves. These are strong moves for these reasons. We'll play them. And we played 5 moves of theory. And of course, that goes out the wayside when our opponent moves their queen out here. Yeah, it didn't like us taking this knight here. It thought there was something better. I guess it wanted us to bring this bishop out here just to be more ahead in development, but we took the pawn structure, destroying the pawn structure, which helped us in the endgame. So it's still plus 1.2 instead of 1.6. Oh no, 0.4. It's fine. Brought out our bishop. It thinks we gave up a significant amount of our advantage there. I disagree. Just wanted us to bring our queen out. This is very unorthodox. This is just an engine type of thing. What is our queen going to do there? I don't really know. Had to bring that forward because we missed something. Here, you had a chance to punish your opponent's error. Yeah, by just doubling up on this pawn because he would have had to bring his bishop here or something. We did nice, solid development, and we're still up a significant amount. In the beginning of the game, that's all you need. Just don't make any mistakes, like brutal mistakes. These are just misses. It's like, oh, you had a chance to play something better. It's a miss. That's totally fine. See, you missed a better way to defend a bishop that was under attack. Like maybe it wanted us to bring this pawn forward or something, but no, it wanted me to put my queen here instead, because then if I brought my queen here, then it threatens this rook in the corner as well. I get that if he goes here, but then a trade or something. So totally fine. He took here. He defended with his king. That was very silly of him, I must say. It thought Maneuver a knight to more powerful square. You win a tempo by threatening a queen. I don't know how, because this is the only way to do that. I don't know. Anyway, maybe I was reading for the wrong side there. Yeah, it thought this was good because it threatens all of this. Okay. So we brought our pawn forward because we wanted to. Yeah, it still thought that this was the best move, but I figured, hey, down the middle here. But we're still playing solid. These are mistakes, but it's like it's still really close, right? Because down in the lower elos, we're not going to be making the top engine moves all of the time. We're going to be making things that are pretty close to them, right? Just good, solid plays. This will help you like climb the elo much faster, much better, and be more consistent at the game. Because you're not going to find things all the time. So we're up a pawn here. We defend. Yeah, didn't want us to trade, but I was like, hey, let's just trade. Took the file. That's good. Got to the back. Took a pawn. He took one. And then just simple trying to bring these two passed pawns all the way to the end. I guess apparently back here it thought there was something better. Whatever. It's +2. We're still doing just fine. It did think that this was a mistake. I guess it did want me to. It wanted me to put my knight here specifically. Yeah. I couldn't tell you why. It's a 0.7 mistake. Once again, these are just small things that don't matter all that much. I guess he just wanted to get his knight over there. That's fine. All just strong moves. Yeah, hung the knight there. Could have gone here. That would have been fine too, but I figured, hey, we put the rook behind this. His rook can never move, right? And then we're able to just come up and take the rest of his pawns, which we did. He traded because he had no play, and yeah, we promoted a pawn, let all this go, and then we just did a nice little queen and king checkmate on the side of the board. There you go. And that's how to play, like 81% accurate with 1550 accuracy. So as long as you're making solid moves, nice moves, moves that just make sense, you're good to go. Of course, that will come with time, but it could come even faster if you watch these videos as I release them. Because, hey, if you can beat a 1600 rated player just by talking it out, explaining things, being like, hey, here's why this is a good move, here's why I'm playing this move, that makes it so much better. Another recommendation I have is you play long games, play rapid games, not blitz games. So play like 10-minute games, not 3-minute games, because those are more reactive, and you don't learn that much in chess playing that way. You learn how to be faster than your opponent, but not good fundamentals in chess. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. Please feel free to like and subscribe. I'm close to 500 subs. I'd appreciate it. Appreciate you joining the Chess Crusader army. Godspeed, brethren. See you in the next one.